Today we're going to be talking about the 2017 remake of Flatliners, not a sequel. I know that Kiefer Sutherland is in both of them, and he's older in this one, but it's not a sequel. It's got a pretty good cast working with it. Got Elliot Page, Diego Luna, Nina Dobrev, James Norton, Kiersey Clemons. That kind of rounds off the main group, the core five. It's also got Beau Mirchoff for no reason, but we'll talk about that later. And these five people really make up most of what this movie is. Most of it is them conversing together, hanging out together, fucking each other a little bit.
Sophia, I need you to open this door.
I think there's someone at the door.
Sophia! I don't care.
The movie's directed by this guy. I'm not going to try to say his name and butcher it, but he has made some good movies. Some very good movies, even some bad ones. Don't worry, there's always some bad ones in there too, but he is definitely a talented director who has proved himself before. This movie does a really great job of setting up the plot, but then just really fumbles the bag and falls down the stairs so hard in the final third that it really completely ruins the work that it did in the first two thirds. And that work wasn't great, let's be real about that, but it's at least decent and entertaining.
First one's Mountain Dew laced with Adderall. Others are chased with espressos.
The idea of flatlining and awakening your mind is a really interesting idea and does most of the work in the entertainment department of this movie. What happens after death is pretty intriguing, and it's fun to see it explored almost any time, even if you have stupid characters who aren't really well written. Just starting the conversation about death and the afterlife with your characters is all it really takes to set up a decent amount of entertainment and intrigue.
Look, if the brain is just another organ, why doesn't it just go dark and shut off at the moment of death?
This movie is very, very similar to The Lazarus Effect from 2015. So yeah, as you can see, 1.5 stars. I really didn't like this one either, but I guess I like Flatliners half a star more than Lazarus Effect.
I want to know what happened to Nico now!
They both suffer from the same problem of not really adding anything to this afterlife conversation. They just really bring up basic ideas about the afterlife that they don't really expand on at all.
It was super fun. I was all powerful. I had the whole city to myself.
I thought there'd be more people. Like, aren't you supposed to see family members who died? Or
Maybe there's no one there because it wasn't really our time.
What the hell are you talking about?
Before I get too deep into the characters, let me just quickly explain a little bit about what this plot really is. Courtney is just like every other med student, she's always thinking about death and what happens after you die, and so like good friends do, they share their passions, and Courtney's not afraid to share her passions.
so I would like you both to stop my heart.
Say what?
And of course you can't have a movie with 3 people, so 2 other people need to join the party as well. So in come Ray and Marlo. Also, this is Jamie and Sophia. So they barely get her back to life, but they honestly all blow it off way too much. They're very chill about the near-death experience that just happened.
Did you see a white light? I wouldn't call it that. It was more like pure energy.
And Courtney herself is very changed. She's even more than casual about this near-death experience. She thinks it was amazing.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna bake some bread.
She's smarter. She seems to have more euphoria. She's happier. She's able to just hang out and do nothing while sitting on a railing.
Is she okay?
She's been sitting there for like 10 minutes.
Seems like fun. So now we fall into the next trope of this movie, which is kind of the drug analogy that they're kind of dipping their toe in, not really fully leaning into it. I wish they would have more. Kind of like how Talk to Me really leaned into the drug analogy of overdosing and getting addicted to a demonic presence, but this movie really doesn't do that. They see that she is smarter and can play piano, so they're like, oh, hells yeah, I want to do that too. Jamie, Marlo, and Sophia follow suit pretty quickly, and they even increase the time that they are down because they're like, I want to be even smarter, I want to be the smartest one.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
So things seem to be going great for the Flatlining gang. They're super, well, not all of them. Not Ray, and not Beau. They don't really get to have that much fun. Ray more than Beau, but really neither of them need to be in this movie. But as things start to get fun, things also start to get a little bit darker. They all start having visions of past things that they did, maybe some past skeletons in their closets, and this is when we fall into the next trope of the easiest way to get rid of a demonic spirit is to repent for your sin.
Time to repent your sins.
It's strangely biblical. I don't know why so many movies like to do this, but I guess it's a simple way to wrap up your plot. Courtney apparently killed her sister in a car crash when she was distracted. Jamie is unfortunately diagnosed with a disease that I like to call Yacht Club Face, or YCF for short. Unfortunately, with this disease, he's prone to sexual aggressiveness and also lack of empathy. So of course his skeleton in his closet is that he got a girl pregnant, didn't want to pay for the abortion. You know, classic YCF and also classic Jamie. Marlo definitely has the darkest of all of them. I mean, she actually did some really fucked up shit and changed an autopsy report on one of the patients that she accidentally killed.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
And then Sophia's is definitely the dumbest of them all. She was just a high school bully and just was mean to someone. That's basically it. I guess she was able to get valedictorian out of it, but I mean, come on, this is pretty weak. And of course, we're going into the next Hollywood trope of none of these people want to talk about these very important things that are happening in their lives, even though they know that there's only a few people that they can relate to in this situation, so why wouldn't you even talk to them about it? But whatever.
Was it all fun?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, was there anything disturbing or?
Not really. Why?
Nothing.
So now we're going into yet another very common trope in these movies where one by one we need these characters to get spooked when they're by themselves. Every single time you know it's coming, hey guys, I'll see you later. I'm gonna be alone now. Hopefully no ghosts come and spook me. But that is what happens. Each of them get their spooks one by one, but Courtney is really not able to handle her spooks. She really gets spooked out of her shoes, essentially, and just takes a little tumble. So now after this, after they find a video where she literally says, there are ghosts chasing me, it's even hard at this point for them to actually come to terms with the fact that, yes, all of you are having visions. Maybe flatlining wasn't so good. Oh no! Also at this point, Jamie gets stabbed in the hand and seemingly actually has a scar from it. They really don't explain this at all, but I thought these were like ghosts spooking them, but there are actual beings who are able to stab. This was confusing. They never really talk about it either. I'm just still very confused by this.
She showed up in your flatline.
I wish that was all. She showed up last night, too.
What are you talking about?
This. I am talking about this. Alicia did this to me.
Only it wasn't her. Just like it wasn't Courtney's sister.
Then what was it?
I don't know. Something feeding of her guilty conscience.
What the fuck was that?
So one by one, now we go into apology mode. First one is Sophia, and oh my god, is this bad.
Irina.
Yes.
The way that she says yes here it haunts my dreams, or my nightmares. I don't even know, I really love it. Yes.
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 It's Sophia from East Hadley. I really needed to talk to you, so I was hoping we could sit down.
What is this about?
I was the one who sent your pictures to the whole class.
This is just a terribly acted scene that is confusing, to be honest. Like, it's always annoying when acting is so bad that it literally confuses the motivations of the characters. Like, is she mad? Is she happy? Is she going to murder her when she turns around? I have no clue. I cannot tell. What is happening here? Jamie, with his yacht club face, obviously this is the only thing he can do. He needs to throw money at this woman. It's his solution to everything. Just throw money at everything. That'll solve it.
I came to apologize for taking off on you.
Pretty funny how they portray the ghetto in this movie. I mean, this is where someone who has a kid and doesn't get the support of a doctor, this is where they end up. A place with buses and smokers' marts. Also, look at this door. Like, what the hell? Where does this even go? To Narnia or something?
I should have been there for you.
But you weren't.
I want to make amends, do what's right, help you out, whatever you need.
You need to leave.
Marlo has a little bit of a different problem, though, because
He's dead!
her consequences are a little bit more. I mean, she did kill somebody, so she can't really just go up to the grave and apologize. Or maybe she could. Maybe she tried that and they just didn't show it. That would have been kind of funny if that could have worked. But she has the great idea that maybe she should flatline on her own so she can ask Cyrus for forgiveness. That makes sense, yeah.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
It really feels like this was just added to add a little bit of excitement to the end of the movie, and I don't like it. Straight up, I just don't like it. It's even crazy, too, because the movie ends with Marlo confessing to the dean and she's put on probation, but it really feels like you should maybe even get criminal charges for this. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Only Courtney knows now.
You're under arrest, Nimrod.
and the movie ends in a very strange bar window that, I don't know, I just can't imagine a bar window being like that. If it was like that, I would honestly love it. It would be fun to people watch, get drunk as fuck, and just watch people walk around. That would be amazing. Huge window. Woo! Movie over. This IP did deserve better, and it's weird that it didn't get it because, like I said, this director is pretty good. It's just, this movie suffered from the same problem that a lot of Hollywood movies suffer from these days, especially from this time in 2017. Just a general lack of human empathy for the entire crew and cast. So yeah, I'm more just surprised that they even finished the movie, but Elliot Page is in this movie and is alright. Not really great. I really do love a lot of their performances in their career. Like, the peaks of them are pretty damn amazing. Super and Juno and Hard Candy are three that really come to mind to me that I really love their performance in.
You're not supposed to kill him!
Oh, and then he'd never get a car again, would he? A brand new fucking Jetta, Frank. Melissa loved that car.
Say that.
But then they also have a bunch of really very mid performances. Kitty Pryde in the X-Men movies.
Who's hiding, dickhead?
Inception, honestly, not really that great. Not the movie. The movie's fine, but just the performances in it, most of them are just in the mid category. The Umbrella Academy with a very weird, monotone character that just wasn't really that good. I mean, the show's alright. There are some parts that I really like, but Elliot Page's character is just meh. Diego Luna puts out a pretty solid performance, but the poor character writing that plagues this character really makes his performance kind of lacking. He's so monotone with his motivations and it gets tiresome because he just doesn't evolve while the plot is. Things are happening around him, but he just doesn't do anything about it. He just keeps his same mindset and doesn't change anything. His motivations already don't really make that much sense, so I was waiting for some sort of twist to drop with him, but it just never came, and his character was just strange and there. Nina Dobrev definitely had the best character motivations in my opinion. Her backstory was pretty well done and they dripped it out in a pretty solid way, but they just, I don't know, her performance was just not there for me. I've only seen her in one other movie and it was a very bad movie, The Outlaws, with Adam Camp in it, and
This next exercise, your buys might turn into tries, while your tries might turn into God knows what.
she was technically in the movie. I mean, she is on the cover of it, but really they didn't write her to be in the movie at all, and everything else that I've seen her in, she's just kind of there.
I'm already a teen mom statistic. I thought I'd contribute to the dropout rate.
But this movie really threw her into the spotlight for a lot of it and gave her one of the darkest of all of the motivations in this movie, but I just don't think that she really did a great job performing it. James Norton was pretty good, but his character was also pretty monotone. He's a rich dick, and that's all that character was from the beginning to the end. I don't even really believe his redemption arc because it was way too forced, and it still relies on him throwing money at his problems to solve them. But I mean, when you look at this face, he's got Yacht Club face, YCF, that's him. Also, they were way too comfortable with killing someone, especially their friend of all people. I mean, they really didn't take any convincing and were just ready to throw down.
And now I kill you.
Come on, you'll both get expelled. You'll go to prison.
Only if you blab about it.
Kiersey Clemons was fine. I mean, most of her scenes really just had her be pretty average, but man, her emotional moments, the really peaks of her character development were just god-awful and just terribly acted and written.
Ew, this is so cringe. Guilty.
I don't want to blame her too much because, I mean, the writing was just so bad for her character, and I really did like her in Neighbors 2, and also in Dope as well. Very good performances, but this was just not it. Very strange character that felt forced, and the conclusion was even more forced. It was just, terrible. My least favorite of all of them. It was really weird seeing Beau Mirchoff lurking around in the background of so many scenes. Was there like a plot line that maybe included him a little bit more that was cut out? Because he has a weird amount of focus just for him to do basically nothing. Maybe I'm just one of the few weirdos who watched MTV's really, really bad show Awkward, and I'm just focusing on him for no reason. Yeah, that's probably it. I'd be really curious what the budget of this movie, oh my god. And it made...
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Well, not really that much money.
Yikes.
Oh well. See you next time.